Hi, welcome to InterpreTIPS. My name is Marjorie Bancroft, and InterpreTIPS is your chance to get answers to all those burning questions you've ever had about interpreting. Today's question comes from a refugee resettlement agency in Maryland. Here it is. A great question came up on our first day of the community interpreter today. What should the interpreter do if they become aware of fraud, example, using someone else's health insurance? I'm pretty clear that if it's said in session with the provider, then they just interpret. What if they learn about it out of the session? Great question, and a good reason not to be alone with the client, but we know that that isn't always possible. So the short answer is, it isn't the interpreter who is responsible for reporting fraud or abuse, and actually in most cases for general or community interpreting, you really shouldn't for reasons of confidentiality. Legal interpreting is a bit of a special case, and if you have a particular question like this that involves legal interpreting, you may want to consult a legal interpreting expert for that question. But speaking in general, violating confidentiality, as I said, would be the reason that you would not report fraud or abuse. There is the National Council on Interpreting in Healthcare take on this very question. That perspective comes in the incredible document, the National Code of Ethics for Interpreters in Healthcare at www.ncic.org. Basically what the document says is that under some circumstances, if this information that the patient has disclosed to you outside the session is relevant to the appointment and sensitive and important, under those special circumstances, you might be able to share it with the treatment team, the team of health professionals working directly with the patient. If you made an extension to other areas of community interpreting, such as social services or educational interpreting, that would be the team that works directly with that client or family. The trick is that with fraud or abuse, how relevant is it to the appointment? It's not something that there's necessarily an easy justification for reporting. An example of an exception might be mental health, where the interpreter might consider that a therapist really needs to know what's going on. But the exceptions are likely very few. One last perspective. How do you feel about it? You can withdraw. If you feel that your impartiality has been compromised, you could give the reason, for example, that as the interpreter you need to withdraw because of information you've learned, knowing the client in other contexts or in other appointments. At the end of the day, who has to live with your conscience for the rest of your life? It's you as the interpreter, so you may have to make decisions on the spot, difficult decisions, and you are the one who will have to live with them. So a final takeaway would be, if you have a chance to take advanced training on ethics, grab that opportunity. Thanks for listening to InterpreTIPS. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please consider subscribing to our InterpreTIPS channel. Meantime, best of luck to you. Thanks. Take care.